Millicent Walker.
Hello and welcome. Tonight, Presidential Election Tribunal adjourns the petition by PDP's Atiku Abubakar till May 18 as Independent National Electoral Commission and APC presidential candidate Bola Tinubu prepares to file a response to Atiku's application for a live broadcast of proceedings. Crisis rocking All Progressives Congress over its zoning arrangement for the 10th Assembly takes a new twist as aggrieved senators-elect threaten to jettison arrangement. And Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo flags off dredging and hydrographic survey of Orashi River waterways to the Atlantic Ocean. On business news tonight, Nigeria falls behind Angola as Africa's top oil producer after suffering the biggest production decline in the month of April.
On sports news tonight, federal government approves construction of high-performance center for athletes at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium in Abuja.
From Abuja, the nation's capital, another batch of 123 Nigerians, all students, are back in the country in ongoing efforts to evacuate Nigerians stranded in war-torn Sudan.
And in international news from London, the UK has confirmed it is supplying Ukraine with long-range missiles that it requested for its fight against invading Russian forces.
We'll begin with the proceedings at the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal today, where the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, and the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Mr. Bola Tinubu, are preparing to file a response to an application by the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Mr. Atiku Abubakar, seeking a live broadcast of proceedings of the tribunal. Mr. Abubakar, who is challenging the outcome of the February 25 presidential election, says televising the proceedings would enhance public confidence in the judiciary. Earlier, counsel to Mr. Atiku Abubakar and the PDP, Chris Uche, told the courts that the parties in the suit have met and harmonized issues for determination. The tribunal consequently adjourned the pre-hearing to the 18th of May. Our correspondent, Emanuela Ekele, reports.
The presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Mr. Atiku Abubakar, arrives at the Court of Appeal, venue of the Presidential Election Petition Court, to witness the day's proceedings. He is accompanied by some former governors and the former national chairman of the party, Mr. Uche Secondus. Present in the field courtroom are the lawyers from the PDP, APC, INEC, and the APM, who are also challenging the victory of the president-elect, Mr. Bola Tinubu. The first case before the five-man panel of justices, which is the PDP petition and the party's counsel, Mr. Chris Uche, informs the court that parties in the suit have met and harmonized issues for determination and have agreed to eliminate objections while tendering from the bar during the hearing. However, he is still waiting to get the responses from the other counsels to his application for a live coverage of the proceedings of the tribunal. The counsels assured the court that they would file their processes in a number of days. Meanwhile, the petition of the Allied People's Movement, APM, also came up for hearing. Counsel representing parties in the matter said that they have agreed to have a meeting on Monday and Tuesday to harmonize their processes. The tribunal consequently adjourned the petitions to May 18 for continuation.
We served the other parties the motion for the televising of the proceedings. They explained here that they are still in the process of filing their replies. Therefore, we could not proceed without their input. So we don't want to anticipate their response. That's why the matter and this motion and other motions have all been adjourned to Thursday next week. Definitely on Thursday, every party would have filed his replies.
We do not have any link or any relation with other parties that have withdrawn, and we are saying this with affirmatively and with all seriousness and, of course, with all responsibility that we do not have any intention of withdrawing our petition.
According to the parties, streamlining their documents to be tendered before the tribunal will hope an expeditious hearing of the case when they return on May 18. Emanuela Ekele, Channels Television News.
Away from the tribunal, the crisis rocking the All Progressives Congress APC over its backing of some candidates for leadership positions in the 10th National Assembly is far from being over. Today, some aggrieved aspirants for the office of the President of Senate openly informed the party's National Working Committee of their intention to disobey the zoning arrangement that nominated Senator Godswill Akpabio as the party's preferred candidate. The aggrieved senators insist that it is undemocratic and unconstitutional to microzone the position of the President of Senate to an individual.
The National Working Committee of the All Progressives Congress again hosts some newly elected members of the National Assembly at the headquarters of the party in Abuja. These are senators elected on the platform of the APC, and they're not here for pleasantries. They're not happy with the zoning arrangement of the leadership of the 10th National Assembly.
Justice needs to be done. We all know the tabulation. We know what it is. And we shouldn't be blind. The power of anyone is not absolute. It's only power of God that is absolute. If you say the power, the no throne that is permanent, but God's throne is only one that is permanent. Take your pen and write it. Anything on the contrary, wallahi, the Northern Nigeria will take another decision against APC, and that will be bad.
What you have done does not look very nice by putting people's name, personally people's name. It's undemocratic. It's against the constitutional right of 3 or 4 sitting down here. Section 51 of the Constitution do not say this for the National Assembly. So we are going to challenge it. We are going to say no.
As we are going, I had expected that the party will look at those who are very few. Just, I think, 4 of us or 5 of us declared interest. And I thought, in the wisdom of the party, they will invite just those 5 of us.
The national chairman, who received the protest letter from the aggrieved senators, assures them that the issue will be revisited.
We are happy to receive you, to come and express your displeasure for what the world was giving. Take us what we have done. There are mistakes that need to be looked at. We will look at them. I will not be ashamed of doing so.
Outside the meeting room, the senator representing Niger East insists that the party must correct the injustice done to the North Central.
What is due to North Central should be given to North Central. We are all legislators. We are the ones that are going to the floor of the Senate to canvass support for anybody. And we have made our points very clear that if the president, in his wisdom, decides to support the balancing of the secularity of this country, we in the North Central, we agree to it. And what next? We should be giving our own dues. That's all we're asking.
As the aggrieved senators await the outcome of their protest, the leadership of the party is optimistic that the issue of zoning of principal officers of the National Assembly will be resolved amicably.
Also on the race to the National Assembly leadership in the 10th Assembly, the preferred candidate of the All Progressives Congress for the position of Speaker, Honorable Abbas Tajuddin, is promising a ranker-free election in the House of Representatives. Addressing a news conference in Abuja, Mr. Tajuddin says he's reaching out to other aspirants as part of efforts to ensure there is peace in the 10th National Assembly. He assures members of the House of Representatives that the election of a Speaker will not tear the House apart.
This is the place where the future of the National Assembly is. we are gathering momentum day after day. Even the problems we are encountering from some of our contestants, today we have started gaining ground on some of them. And I want to assure you that in the next coming days, we will come and report the progress so far on the number of people we have been able to convince and persuade to drop their aspirations and join the bandwagon. Today we go to one person, and as we are talking, we are talking to two people. There is a likelihood today or tomorrow we'll be able to also persuade them to drop. The others, some of our governors, the president-elect himself, are also working on them. So let's continue to pray, because what we want at the end of the day is to have an election that is rancor-free.
And away from the 10th National Assembly leadership, the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, has officially flagged off the dredging and hydrographic survey of the proposed sea access route of the Orashi-Oguta waterways to the Atlantic Ocean. During the flag-off ceremony at the bank of the Oguta Lake in Oguta Local Government Area, Imo State, the Vice President says the project is one that will hugely benefit the state, Nigeria, and the entire West Africa. He says the project will also stimulate exports and imports, as well as help the Nigerian Navy check crude oil theft along the region.
A memorable day for the people of Oguta and Imo State in general, as they witnessed the start of a new era in the economic renaissance of the state. This is because the federal government has given nod to the dredging of Orashi-Oguta River project.
The route has never been dredged, and there are no navigational aids to facilitate safe navigation. Consequently, pre-dredging hydrographic survey of this critical river access could not have come at a better time than now.
It is one project that will bring a lot of economic prosperity to the people here. As has been pointed out, it will do a lot in terms of security of the area.
Then one after another, dignitaries at the event share their thoughts on the Orashi-Oguta dredging project.
We need this opening to the sea. It will not only protect us, it will protect our resources. That is the oil that comes from here.
Opening up this route will open up the best agricultural land in the whole of West Africa. And if you check the study will confirm it.
I want to assure every citizens, every sons and daughter of Imo State that this project has come to stay.
For the Imo State Governor, Hope Uzodimma, the flag-off of this project is a dream come true.
To further boost the economy of the region, my administration intends to establish an industrial cluster around the region to trigger industrial development. The emphasis shall be on the industries that will use the large gas deposits in the area as raw materials for production. As you know, Imo State has the largest gas deposit in Nigeria today.
The Vice President, Yemi Osinbajo, commends the Imo State Governor, Hope Uzodimma, for his foresight in collaborating with the federal government to achieve such a feat.
Today, we aim to revive this once vibrant and economically strategic channel, furthering job creation and sustainable growth in Imo State and the entire Southeast region, and indeed our nation. By enhancing coastal connectivity and facilitating seamless transportation, the project will promote trade and investment and spur growth in multiple sectors, including shipping, manufacturing, agriculture, and also offer numerous opportunities for the people.
This is a symbolic thing.
Now that this dredging project has been launched, many are waiting to see the commencement of the exercise and also witness how this will benefit or improve the economy of the state within the shortest possible period.
In part two, after the break, Supreme Court adjourned suits filed by leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, over his continued detention by the Department of State Services till September 14. That's in a moment. Do stay with us.
Always running around, but keeping up is easy with the Huggies nappy pants because the 360 comfort waistband makes it easy to open, easy on, easy off, so my baby can keep on exploring.
Huggies nappy pants. Try it today. You and your hair go through a lot. The heat, rain, chaos. It's a non-stop war against total breakdown. But just like you, your hair can stay strong no matter what. Mega Growth Break-Free Daily Leave-In Strengthener for all hair types is infused with a unique blend of natural oils and conditioning proteins that helps protect your hair. Mega Growth Break-Free, your daily defense against breakage.
We don't like to eat better, more nutritious meals, more veggies, but we want it tasty and easy too. Knorr Cubes, that's the secret. Made with real ingredients like chicken, parsley, and garlic. And enriched with iron, so your meals are better for you and more delicious too. That's the cocoa. Let's give it some accolades. Change your world by changing what's on your plate.
The Duchess International Hospital opened its doors in October 2021. The mission of the hospital is to reverse medical tourism. We take particular care here at the Duchess to bring together a combination of the brightest and the best locally, as well as Nigerians in the diaspora who are interested in returning to do very good work for the benefit of our patients here in this country.
The good thing is that we have all international expertise here, all international facilities here, international people working here. Everything is coming together in a space which was considered not great in terms of the availability of healthcare.
Access Bank, of course, has been able to provide us with a robust range of products and services that has enabled us to deliver that standard and quality of healthcare that is integral to our mission as an organization.
In my family, everybody wants more.
More knowledge!
I'm home! I just want more of anything that is good for my family. That is why I use Tasty Tom Enriched Tomato Mix. It's thick and gives my meals an appealing red color. It helps me cook delicious meals. And what's more, it's enriched with vitamins and fiber that are good for the body. What more could a mother want?
Please give me more.
Mommy, I want more!
It's time you try Tasty Tom Enriched Tomato Mix because it's enriched with vitamins and fiber. Tasty Tom for tasty meals good for you. Available in convenient sachets that are easy to open and easy to store.
My baby is always running around, but keeping up is easy with the Huggies nappy pants because the 360 comfort waistband makes it easy to open, easy on, easy off, so my baby can keep on exploring.
Huggies nappy pants. Try it today.
Welcome back. If this is joined us, you're watching the news at 10 live on Channels Television. Here's a reminder of our top stories. Presidential Election Tribunal adjourns petition by PDP's Atiku Abubakar till May 18 as the Independent National Electoral Commission and the APC presidential candidate Bola Tinubu prepare to file a response to Atiku's application for a live broadcast of proceedings. Crisis rocking the All Progressives Congress over its zoning arrangement for the 10th Assembly takes a new twist as aggrieved senators-elect threaten to jettison arrangement. Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo flags off dredging and hydrographic survey of Orashi Water River waterways to the Atlantic Ocean. And U.S. Ambassador to South Africa accuses the country of supplying weapons to Russia despite its professed neutrality in the war in Ukraine. With less than 3 weeks to the end of his administration, President Muhammadu Buhari has appointed Mr. Garba Umar, an Assistant Inspector General of Police, as a Senior Security Advisor on International Police Cooperation and Counterterrorism. According to a statement issued by the presidential spokesperson, Mr. Garba Shehu, Mr. Umar's appointment is domiciled in the Office of the Minister of Police Affairs and takes effect from the 16th of May. Mr. Umar is the Vice President of the International Criminal Police Organization, Interpol for Africa, and also the head of the Interpol National Central Bureau in Nigeria. According to the statement, in approving his appointment, President Buhari considered his tenure as a member of the Executive Committee and ways in which he assisted Nigeria. He believes that he will do more in securing equipment for crimes, border management, and counter-terrorism for the country. Let's go to legal matters now. The Supreme Court has adjourned the hearing of the suit filed by the leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, to September 14. Mr. Kanu had approached the court to appeal the verdict of the appeal court, stopping his release from the custody of the Department of State Services. Now, during the day's proceedings, the Apex Court granted the application of the Attorney General of the Federation, Mr. Abubakar Malami, to file additional processes in response to Mr. Kanu's filing, which was done on Tuesday. Now, senior counsel to Nnamdi Kanu, Mr. Mike Ezekome, expressed fear that the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra might die in the custody of the DSS. This was his submission during the hearing at the Supreme Court. He says that Mr. Kanu's health issues have deteriorated and he needs surgical operation. The lawyer asked the court to rule in favor of the transfer of Kanu from the DSS custody to Kuje Correctional Center so that he can begin treatment. While reacting to Mr. Zekeme's plea, the Apex Court responded that God will keep Mr. Kanu alive and that he will not die in detention, and said that even if the court proceeds to hear the appeal, there is no space within its calendar to write and deliver the verdict within the 90-day deadline. The case was therefore adjourned to September 14. Staying with legal matters, the Ezendigbo of Ajao Estate in Lagos, Frederick Nkedelim Nwajagu, has been arraigned before a Lagos High Court sitting in Tafawa Balewa Square on alleged terrorism grounds. The charge states that the offences contravene the provisions of Section 403, subsection 2 of the Criminal Law of Lagos State and Sections 12, sub C, 18, 21, 29, and 12A of the Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act 2022. The defendant denied the allegation and pleaded not guilty to all counts as the case was adjourned to July the 4th and the 5th, 2023 for trial. We head to Abuja now for more stories. Terry is waiting. Hi, Terry.
Absolutely, Millicent. Hello. Back here in Abuja, another batch of Nigerians arrived at Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport today as part of efforts to evacuate Nigerians that are stranded in war-torn Sudan. The Tarko aviation aircraft carrying 123 evacuees, all students from Port Sudan, arrived at 12:25 p.m. Our correspondent Victoria Longjohn was there.
This is the 13th aircraft to land in Abuja in the latest evacuation exercise from Sudan. The 123 evacuees are all students, comprising 122 males and 1 female. They are received at the Pilgrims Wing of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, where government representatives receive them and put them through the necessary documentation.
The president has done everything possible to bring them back home. These are children of parents like me. Some are making arrangements on how to continue their education, but for those who have difficulty, they can liaise with the National Commission for Refugee, Migrant, and Displaced Person for a link-up with the Minister of Education as it concerns their education.
Relieved to be back on home grounds, the returnees are yet to give thought to their next plan of action.
I don't think I'm going back to Sudan, but inshallah, in some weeks to come, I will try to pursue my education, maybe in Nigeria or in another country.
Our plans, if to Sudan has get well now, settled, so we are hoping to go back to Sudan to continue our studies there, inshallah.
I'm very happy, but the experience before is terrible.
I went to Sudan in 8 March 2023. I spent only 2 months in Sudan, and all this crisis happened.
Earlier in the day, a Talco aviation aircraft conveyed 135 Nigerians, mostly students from Sudan, to Abuja. This brings the total number of persons evacuated through the exercise to 2,250. Victoria Longjohn, Channels Television News.
The Minister of Interior, Mr. Rauf Aregbesola, says henceforth, state governments will provide feeding and accommodation to prison inmates in their states. He stated this at a 2-day high-level conference on decongestion and corrections administration in Abuja. According to him, this decision is necessitated by the fact that the federal government currently spends over 22 billion naira to feed inmates across the country. Our correspondent, Emperor Simon, reports.
This multi-stakeholders meeting is organized to chart a roadmap for decongesting Nigeria's overcrowded correctional facilities. Across its 244 correctional centers, Nigeria currently has over 75,000 inmates in custody, and this has a ripple effect on the country's dwindling revenue, according to the federal government.
The government has budgeted this year, 2023, 22.44 billion naira just for feeding of inmates.
Among the causative factors identified are delay in prosecution of cases and the criminalization of petty offenses by security agencies. The Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Olukayode Ariwoola, emphasizes the need for effective collaboration among the three arms of government.
As for us in the judiciary, this is a reminder of the obvious, interpreting the law the way it should be, and with the fear of the Almighty God at the center of our heart. Our overweight visit to custodial centers will also be increased, with few to setting free those inmates with minor offenses and those that ought not to be there in the first place.
The federal government has also put in place some measures to address the challenge, as announced by the Minister of Interior, Mr. Rauf Aregbesola.
States are now empowered to, first of all, enact their own law, establishing correctional service, and build custodial facilities going forward with that law. States that don't have their own facility, you pay for your inmates. Federal government cannot bear this burden anymore. It's no longer a responsibility to feed everybody.
At the end of the conference, a blueprint document is expected to be developed that will guide decision-making on effective implementation of non-custodial measures to promote effective reformation, rehabilitation, and reintegration of inmates. Emperor Simon, Channels Television News.
Now to some company news. Leading distributor of mobility products and services in Nigeria, CFAO Motors, has been appointed official distributor of Toyota vehicles in Nigeria, a major milestone for the company. The company, at an event to launch its distribution of Toyota vehicles in Lagos, says it is ready to offer Nigerians access to quality, durable and affordable Toyota vehicles.
CFAO Motors, a subsidiary of CFAO Group, hosts a whole lot of guests, including captains of industries and members of the diplomatic corps in Victoria Island, Lagos, as it breaks its ranks in the automobile industry. After over 120 years as a leading distributor of mobility products and services in Nigeria, the company expresses excitement as an official distributor of Toyota vehicles.
We're happy that you're all here. We're happy that this is taking a long time coming.
But the most important part is the commitment of CFAO to the Toyota brand, the commitment of CFAO to making sure that Toyota reaches the nooks and crannies of the country, and making sure that there's going to be excellent service by CFAO of all Toyota vehicles.
The Japanese ambassador to Nigeria speaks glowingly about the Toyota brand in Nigeria.
So in Nigeria, vehicles are the primary means of transportation. So durability of Toyota vehicle is a crucial factor in ensuring people and goods are transported safely and securely. So I am convinced that Toyota's reliability and durability cater to the needs of Nigeria.
With a range of Toyota vehicles available in its space for customers and car enthusiasts, the company showcases the latest model of the Toyota brand, the Toyota Land Cruiser 300.
Because we are the official distributor of Toyota in Nigeria, we actually represent the full range of vehicles that are authorized by Toyota for distribution in Nigeria. So from the Toyota Starlet to the Belter to the Rumion, we have the Urban Cruiser, we have the Corolla Sedan, which is quite popular. We have the Toyota Camry, and then we start with the Corolla Cross, which is a very lovely product, if I must say so.
CFAO thrilled guests to fun games and other entertainment and a virtual reality experience to inspect some car models. The company promises to redefine the Toyota experience to meet the expectations of customers.
Some more company news now. Mobile phone manufacturer Tecno has launched Camon 20, the latest smartphone in the Camon series, into the Nigerian market. The device comes with an amazing camera, among other unique features, as well as Magic Skin innovation, a brand new material technology that is skin-friendly and stylish. The latest device, according to the company, represents its commitment to continuously revolutionize smartphone experience through outstanding technologies and exceptional performance.
With innovation, with their design.
Before an audience made up of brand ambassadors, distributors and other collaborative partners, the Tecno Camon 20 is unveiled.
Tecno Camon 20 prize unveiled.
The latest in the Camon series, which emerged as a gold winner at the Muse Design Awards 2023, is built to deliver a combination of high-performance photography, unique design elements, and an outstanding user experience.
Over the years, we've tried to improve on our Camon series. From last year, we did Camon 19. We improved on the camera quality and on the design. So this year again, we are coming back with a better camera, a better design, and a sleek and well-crafted back of Camon 20.
Camon 20 series smartphones include the Camon 20, Camon 20 Pro, Camon 20 Pro 5G, and the top-end Camon 20 Premier 5G.
So the Camon 20 series is coming as a succession of the Camon 19 series, which we all know has a very clear camera. So with 108 rear camera and 13 MP wide angle camera, you can take stunning pictures even at night. Also, bringing it back to the theme of our launch here, which is fashion and motion, you can take pictures with someone watching or videos is steady. So we know that we're giving you a steady night portrait camera that can take lovely pictures, clear pictures.
The Camon 20 launch event also showcases the fusion of tech and fashion. The smartphone device relieves captivating moments where every fashion detail is a masterpiece. Tecno says it is guided by its brand essence of stop at nothing, and that it is committed to unlocking the best and newest technologies for forward-looking individuals.
Make some noise for them, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands together, put your hands together, put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen.
That's all from the nation's capital. Millicent?
Terry, and we are continuing here in Lagos with more company news. Sun King, an international solar energy company that designs, distributes, installs and finances solar energy, has launched its new solar inverter in Nigeria. The solar inverter, specifically designed for the Nigerian energy market, will replace expensive fossil fuel power generators, thereby providing homes and businesses with seamless, clean and affordable energy.
From selling its first product, solar-powered lights, in Nigeria in 2011, to producing a series of solar panel products to meet the electricity needs of Nigeria, Sun King, an international solar energy solution company, is introducing a new product, Sun King Solar Inverter.
Thank you very much. Wow.
The company hosts key players in the energy ecosystem to showcase its latest invention.
So we look at our customers and we...
With 12 years of operations in Nigeria, the managers speak about the evolution of the brand.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Sun King.
And then the unveiling.
Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely jaw-dropping. Please come closer. Thank you so much.
Our solar inverter is a hybrid product, so this ensures that it's able to be charged through two means, either through solar panels that are placed on the roof of a building, or it can be charged through the grid. So once the grid is available, the inverter is charging. If the grid is not available, the solar panels also charge it. So what this helps is that customers and businesses can have uninterrupted power supply, in that when power cuts out, the inverter takes up because it's already having backup power in it already.
Sun King takes ownership of various aspects of the supply chain. We look after the raw materials that go into our products, and we also have quality engineers in the factories to assess the ongoing process of manufacturing and ensure that whatever we get is of the absolute best quality.
The solar inverter is said to generate up to 2,000 watts of electricity. It has two sources of energy, solar panel and grid power. It also can power appliances directly. In addition, the Sun King solar inverter has a battery designed to last 10 years, and the product comes with a 3-year warranty.
What will energy do for you?
The company says the new solar inverter is the initial offering in the planned series of high-performance solar systems it intends to make available to Nigerian households and businesses.
Thank our friends from the REA. We thank everyone for coming out today.
Time now for business news. Here's Anne Wilder.
Banking so easy, so simple. Dial *894# now to experience it. You first, First Bank.
Thank you, Millicent. Hello and welcome to Business News. Significant decline in crude production recorded last month has pushed Nigeria behind Angola as Africa's largest oil producer among its peers in the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries. This latest edition of OPEC's monthly oil market report released today shows that Nigeria's oil output dipped by 270,000 barrels per day to 999,000 barrels last month, as against 1.26 million barrels recorded in the month of March, while Angola's oil production rose by 91,000 barrels per day to 1.06 million barrels. Before now, Angola overtook Nigeria as the continent's top oil producer in May last year, as the country faced the menace of oil theft. Meanwhile, oil and gas analysts have attributed the output decline on the shutdown of activities at one of the country's major export terminals, the Forcados pipeline, as well as the strike action at the local unit of ExxonMobil. The Securities and Exchange Commission says it has launched the Fast Commodities Fund, which is approved by the capital market regulator. A statement from the SEC mentions that the new asset class will enhance products diversification in Nigeria's economy while preventing the loss of investments to fake crowdfunding programs and Ponzi schemes. The capital market regulator also explains that the launch of the fund will play a major role in the attainment of the 2015 to 2025 Nigerian Capital Market Master Plan of the Commission. Seplat Energy PLC, a leading Nigerian independent energy company listed on both the Nigerian Exchange Limited, the NGX, and the London Stock Exchange, the LSE, has held its 10th annual general meeting in Lagos, Nigeria's commercial capital. The chairman of the board, Mr. Basil Omiye, while conducting proceedings at the AGM, says the Seplat revenue rose by 29.8% to $951.8 million, while profit before tax rose by 15.3% to $204.4 million. For the financial year ended December 2022, the dividend of 15 cents is to be paid to shareholders of the company.
Seplat Energy PLC is holding its 10th annual general meeting for the year end 2022. To allow for increased participation among shareholders and stakeholders, as a dual-listed company in Nigeria and London, it has opted for a virtual meeting.
This meeting is being held virtually in compliance with the Business Facilitation Miscellaneous Provision Act that was passed into law on the 8th of February 2023.
The company's total revenue rose by 29.8% to $951.8 million, while profit before tax rose by 15.3% to $204.4 million.
We have started 2023 on a very strong note, closing our Q1 2023 at a very strong performance level, and we're looking forward to a good outcome for the entire year 2023.
Leading to the part shareholders like to hear. So, with the healthy financial performance and solid cash position, the company's board recommended a special dividend of US5 cents per share to be paid to shareholders, in addition to the final quarterly dividend of US 2.5 cents per share, bringing the total dividend for the year to US 15 cents per share, or 34 naira 67 kobo.
In the absence of questions, I hereby propose that the final dividend at the exchange rate of 17th April 2023. Will a shareholder second?
Mr. Chairman, my name is Mrs. Bisi Bakari. I second the motion.
Seplat play in the upstream sector, but has its eyes firmly fixed on midstream and new energy development.
We're looking at gas to power, we're looking at renewable energy, especially big emphasis on solar. There'll be an announcement at some point in time that will make final investment decision on the renewable energy portfolio.
Our success rests on the quality of people we have. We are very committed and strong quality people, and we have a really strong work ethics and culture. I think that's really what's helping the company in this, what I call, very difficult time. It's a differentiator, and unless you do that, you can't really think of growing. Now, you know, we are thinking of growing, so we start from building the people and the culture and the technology we need, and then we are ready to go.
The focus, they say, is to increase access to energy, reduce emissions, and transform the economy.
From there, let's head to the domestic stock market, which extended the bearish sentiment for a second consecutive day today, as the total volume of shares traded declined by 13.9%. And John Mekwa has the details.
Thank you so much. Welcome to the Stock Market Report. Adova with a 2 naira 20 kobo gain on its share price. MRS, a 2 naira 75 kobo gain on its share price. They are the major positive on the NGX on Thursday, and their gains were strong enough to keep the oil and gas counter up. We see it up 1.34%. The figures, profit taking is their story for tonight. So banking is down 1.35%, while for consumers at 0.10%. International breweries and Honeywell flour. Profit taking seems to be setting in on that. Now, the summary of all of this is captured by the all share. It's down, not as bad as yesterday, thankfully. It's down 0.09%, and we're still on to 52,161.24, and the market cap is still at 28. But what it means is that the bear is still growling. So the activity chart is not looking so good too. The bear doesn't come with a lot of goodness with the colors, you know, so it's more of red and just one positive. That's for deal 5,539. That's the stock market report. Not a very attractive one, but it's the market and we'll report it. Back to you, Anne.
Outside our shores, the Bank of England has raised interest rates by 0.25 point to 4.5%, as its forecast inflation will stay higher for the longer period than previously expected, and the economy will perform more strongly. Its Monetary Policy Committee voted by majority for the 12th consecutive successive increase in borrowing costs, continuing its most aggressive rate hiking cycle since the 1980s as it tries to dampen double-digit UK inflation. The central bank's key base rate is now at its highest level since 2008, when the global economy was in the grip of the financial crisis. Now let's find out how major global equities ended today's trading session. Thank you for watching Business News Tonight. I'm Anne Nwawadu. The rest of News at 10 continues now with Millicent.
Banking so easy, so simple. Dial *894# now to experience it. You first, First Bank.
Thanks, Anne. The International Fund for Agricultural Development, IFAD, says it will continue to partner with the federal government to ensure a reduction in the percentage of food insecurity in the country. Country Director of IFAD Nigeria, who made this known in Abuja during the presentation of the second National Nigeria IFAD Country Strategic Opportunities Program workshop, says the international agency recorded tremendous level of success in its partnership with the federal government to support activities of smallholder farmers.
We are pleased that through this partnership, for example, many of our rice, cassava producers have improved the yields, so they are able to produce more with lesser inputs, for example. This means that it translates into more food at, I would say, also less cost. And also this scale-up of production translates into income for farmers and job opportunities for youth. All these elements put together are conducive for the economic growth of the country, and this is what we want to bring to scale in the new cooperation strategy that we are developing under the leadership of the government and in close coordination and cooperation with the smallholder farmers. You have seen them, about 30 of them are here from different states to see how we can integrate the finding of the consultation.
Away from food insecurity, at least 2 persons have sustained serious injuries in a fight that erupted between members of the Hausa community in Ekiti State as well as officers of the Amotekun security outfit. The Amotekun men, acting on the instruction of the Ado local government authorities, had tried to enforce a relocation order for the Hausa traders and residents of another area in the state to a new location provided for them. It took the intervention of police special squad and officers to calm the crisis there after the traders resisted the Amotekun officers. Leader of the Hausa community in the state capital says those occupying the area in contention have been resistant to his instruction for them to relocate to the newly provided business area. The police spokesperson in Ekiti State, Mr. Sunday Abutu, in a statement confirmed that 4 suspects have been arrested over the incident, giving assurances that the police is working to restore peace in the area.
This morning, as they met me, they brought that shield. But what I heard was that maybe there is one Hausa man that was tied. Maybe they saw him there, and that Hausa is helping them maybe to pack this what they are selling. So they saw him there, according to the information I received. Then from there, maybe they are dragging. I don't know the outcome. Now, when I was trying maybe to rescue this boy, because now these people just came. So some of people said, please leave this place, because I don't want to leave the place before. So, and I cannot. So immediately, someone now brought me here. So later, I don't know, but we are trying to call the security agencies, and they tried their best.
And to the foreign scene, U.S. Ambassador to South Africa, Ruben Brigetti, has accused the country of supplying weapons to Russia despite its professed neutrality in the war in Ukraine. Mr. Brigetti claimed that a Russian ship was loaded with ammunition and arms in Cape Town in December last year. A statement from President Cyril Ramaphosa's office has described the claim as disappointing for lack of evidence. Here's Simon Pusey with other international stories and around the world in 5.
Good evening and welcome to the Channel's studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. The UK has confirmed it is supplying Ukraine with long-range missiles it requested for its fight against invading Russian forces. The Storm Shadow cruise missile has a range of over 250 kilometres, according to the manufacturer. The weapons will give Ukraine new capabilities as it prepares a counter-offensive against Russia. They are fired from aircraft, so the longer range means Ukrainian pilots will be able to stay further from the front lines. Once launched, the Storm Shadow drops to low altitude to avoid detection by enemy radar before latching onto its target with an infrared seeker.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, as I've said many times in the past, we simply will not stand by while Russia kills civilians. We have seen what Ukrainians can do when they have the right capabilities. Today I can confirm that the UK is donating Storm Shadow missiles to Ukraine. Storm Shadow is a long-range, conventional-only precision strike capability. It complements the long-range systems already gifted, including HIMARS and Harpoon missiles, as well as Ukraine's own Neptune cruise missile and longer-range missions elsewhere gifted.
Israeli airstrikes have killed the head of Islamic Jihad's rocket force in Gaza, part of an operation that has killed 25 people, including women and children, this week. Egypt was set to host senior Islamic Jihad official Mohammed al-Hindi in Cairo later in the day, part of mediation efforts to end the fighting. Ali Ghali was the 4th senior Islamic Jihad commander killed since Israel began striking Gaza in pre-dawn raids on Tuesday. The death toll in the raids includes at least 5 women and 5 children. Turkish presidential election candidate Muharrem İnce, one of 4 contesting Sunday's vote, says he has withdrawn in a potential boost to the main rival of President Tayyip Erdogan. In a statement, İnce blamed an apparent smear campaign against him as the reason behind his decision to pull out from the race. Before his withdrawal, İnce was one of 4 candidates in the vote alongside Erdogan. A survey earlier showed Erdogan lagging behind first place by more than 5 percentage points ahead of the election on Sunday. Members of the media and journalists have gathered at the Al Jazeera campus in Doha for an event marking 1 year since the killing of Shireen Abu Akleh. Audience members stood holding placards that read "Justice for Shireen." Abu Akleh was one of the most recognizable journalists covering Israeli-occupied territories and was shot dead on May the 11th last year during an Israeli raid in the West Bank city of Jenin. Her family say they are still waiting for justice.
A year after my aunt was killed, we're still in so much pain. The past year was one of the most, if not the most devastating year that my family and I had to experience. Shireen was killed nearly a year ago, and until this day, we still wake up in pain. We're still missing her. We're still suffering and trying to mourn her loss.
2 people have been killed in a shooting at a Mercedes-Benz factory in southwestern Germany. A 53-year-old man entered the production hall at the plant in Sindelfingen and opened fire, shooting 2 44-year-old men. One of the victims died at the scene and the other died later in hospital. No one else was hurt. Police said security staff detained the suspect and handed him over to officers who arrested him without resistance. A van transporting oxygen gas canisters has exploded in a Milan street, injuring 1 person and setting nearby cars and motorbikes on fire. The city's mayor ruled out foul play and confirmed that no one had died in the incident. Firefighters quickly extinguished the blaze, which had sent clouds of thick black smoke into the sky. Eyewitnesses said the fire appeared to have spread to a nearby building, which was evacuated. A local school was also evacuated. And dog lovers gathered in San Diego in California to enter their furry animals into the annual puppy prom. Lots of pampered pets dressed in glamorous outfits and sparkly costumes gathered to determine who was best dressed in the show. This year, Bear the Yorkshire Terrier dressed in a blue outfit with gold crown and was awarded Doggy King, while Bitsy, another Yorkshire Terrier who had her own tiny car, snapped up the coveted Doggy Queen title. The puppy prom raises money to help the centre look after rescued and abandoned dogs. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the Channel studios in Lagos.
Thanks, Simon. Sports news now. The federal government has approved 2.4 billion naira for the construction of High Performance Center at the Package B of the Moshood Abiola National Stadium in the nation's capital, Abuja. The Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Sunday Dare, says the new High Performance Center is an inbuilt maintenance structure in its life cycle design. He has the global sports development practice has High Performance Center as a major component of its conditioning its athletes.
We got approval of 2.4 billion naira to build within the next 3 years a national sports medicine and high-performance center at the Moshood Abiola Stadium. As we speak, more than 80% of the equipment that will be needed, some of them, digital equipment, are already secured and obtained at the Moshood Abiola Stadium. What we need is to construct the specialized building where we're going to install all of this. And if this is done, the #1 high-performance center in the whole of the African continent is the one in South Africa. And if we're able to complete the one in Abuja here, that will be the second one in Africa.
And now the Golden Eaglets of Nigeria will not be at this year's FIFA Under-17 World Cup after crashing out of the Africa Nations Cup. The 5-time world champions suffered a 2-1 defeat against West African rivals Burkina Faso in the quarterfinals of the competition. Burkina Faso has now joined Senegal, Mali and Morocco as Africa's representatives at the World Cup. In the UEFA Europa League, Federico Gatti headed home in the 97th minute to earn Juventus a 1-0 draw against Sevilla in their semi-final first leg encounter. Moroccan forward Youssouf El Nesri gave the 6-time champions the lead in the first half, and they seemed set to take that advantage back to Sevilla before Gatti's late intervention. Eduardo Bofi scored in the other game, the only goal of the game in the 63rd minute at the Rome Olympic Stadium as Roma edged Bayer Leverkusen to take a slender lead into next week's second leg in Germany. And that's Sports News Tonight. I'm Kelly Egiga. It's back to Millicent.
Thanks, Kelly. And the main news again. The Presidential Election Tribunal today adjourned the petition by PDP's Atiku Abubakar till May 18 as the Independent National Electoral Commission and the APC presidential candidate Bola Tinubu prepare to file a response to Atiku's application for a live broadcast of proceedings. And it appears the crisis rocking the All Progressives Congress over its zoning arrangement for the 10th Assembly is far from being over, as aggrieved senators-elect today threatened to jettison the arrangement. Also today, Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo flagged off the dredging and hydrographic survey of the Orashi River waterways to the Atlantic Ocean. And U.S. Ambassador to South Africa today accused the country of supplying weapons to Russia despite its professed neutrality in the war in Ukraine. And that's News at 10 tonight. Thank you for watching. I'm Millicent Walker. Have a good night and stay safe.
welcome to another fantastic episode of Entertainment News on Channels Television, your one-stop shop for all things fashion, music, and lifestyle. When it comes to showbiz, you know we got you covered. I am Bukola Ogunbodede. Thank you so much for joining us. On the program today, Marvin Records Rema set to dethrone Wizkid